you all for being with us today as we open up our June meeting with the Board of Trustees for Austin Peay State University. Excuse me, Secretary, please call the roll.
Trustee Canada.
Here.
Trustee Gibson is absent. Trustee Jenkins.
Here.
Trustee Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Kimbrough.
Present.
Trustee Martin is absent. Trustee May.
Here.
Trustee McGinnis. Here. Trustee Mueller is absent. Trustee O'Malley.
Here.
Trustee Rainey.
Here.
Trustee Rowe.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum and I call the meeting to order. Please note that there are items on your agenda that need to be adopted. Before I call for a vote, are there any items that you wish to be extracted from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I move for adoption of the agenda, including the consent agenda items. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The agenda is adopted. The minutes for the April 10th, 2026 board meeting were circulated in advance of the meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes? Do we have a motion to approve then?
So moved.
Second, thank you. It's moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to recognize President Licari, who will introduce today's campus spotlight.
Thank you, Chairman O'Malley. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mickey Hepner, who serves as the Dean of College of Business here at Austin Peay. This is a position that he's held since his arrival in 2018. Dr. Hepner has a PhD and MA in economics from the University of Oklahoma and a bachelor's of business administration and economics from Oklahoma as well. In his role as dean, he has led significant growth and transformation within the college, including a 37% increase in enrollment, launch of a number of new academic programs, and substantial investments in student success, experiential learning, and community engagement. Under his leadership, the college earned AACSB International Accreditation in April 2023.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Mickey Hepner, and as the Dean for the College of Business, I am honored to share a little bit about some of the great things happening in our College of Business for today's campus spotlight. There we go. Thank you, Kevin. I want to begin with our recent accreditation announcement. On April 29th, we announced that we have officially earned AACSB accreditation, a distinction held by fewer than 6% of business schools worldwide. This is a significant milestone for our College of Business. The formal AACSB accreditation process is designed to take 6 to 7 years and requires the school to demonstrate excellence in teaching, faculty research, and engagement with students in the broader business community. However, the informal process, the time when the school must make the required investments in its faculty and staffing models to do the work to improve its processes and procedures and build a culture of continuous improvement, that process can take decades. For years, our team has been building for this moment, and today we are proud to be recognized among the world's best business schools. And while I have the privilege of being the one here with you today, the truth is that accomplishing something of this magnitude requires a total team effort. This achievement belongs to our faculty and staff, past and present, who believed we could build something exceptional here. To our university senior leadership, for their support and trust through many long years. To this board, for your encouragement. And to our alumni, donors, and friends who have supported us every step along the way. It took all of us. And thanks to all of us, we have earned the label AACSB accredited. We did not do this just for us, but for the students that we serve. AACSB accreditation opens new doors for our students by signaling to employers that our students are prepared to succeed in today's competitive business world. And importantly, accreditation sends a signal to our students too. It tells them that they are also ready to compete against the best. Accreditation helps ensure that when our students walk into that job interview or into a new job, that they are not just qualified, but that they are also confident and know that they belong there. And I want to take a moment to emphasize just how important that is, because we serve a very unique student body in the College of Business. This year alone, more than 40% of our business grads are first-generation college students. More than a third are military affiliated, with 25% of our current students being enrolled being veterans of the armed forces. That is a truly unique student body among business schools worldwide. And that means, though, that when our students earn their business degrees, it can change the trajectory of their entire family. And APSU accreditation, though, is just part of our story. We are demonstrating momentum in other areas, too. Over the past 3 years, enrollment in the College of Business has grown by more than 35%. And it is important to note, though, that we're not just growing, we are also getting better. We've made intentional investments to support that success. And over the past decade, we have tripled the size of our professional advising team because we want our students to have consistent, high-quality guidance throughout their academic journey. Notably, this has been made possible through the business course fee that this board has approved and supported over the years. That investment has allowed us to build a student success center model focused on proactive advising and student support. These investments, coupled with our team's efforts, have enabled our college to improve student retention, persistence, and graduation rates over the last decade. And that reflects something that we believe deeply in the college, that student success does not happen by accident. It happens through intentional and strategic investments in the systems and the people and the processes who support our students every day. And another important reason why our enrollment success comes from something that has become central to who we are as a college. In our college, we often say that we are committed to pushing students beyond the textbook. We even posted those words on the wall of the Kimbrough building. But that's not just a phrase for us. It has become a core part of our college identity. For us, it means giving students opportunities to apply what they learn, to engage in real-world problem solving, and to develop the kind of skills that employers are looking for. For example, we have a group of students who manage a real $600,000 investment portfolio, where they make real investment decisions with real money in real companies. We have a group of students who get certified by the IRS to help local families file their income taxes. And this last year alone, they helped more than 250 local families file taxes right here in Montgomery County. One of my favorite examples of our commitment to pushing students beyond the textbook is our growth in supporting student research. In 2022, we made this activity a priority in our college's strategic plan. And since then, we have had 144 students travel to present research at academic conferences, including a record 65 traveling this year alone. Importantly, this effort was specifically recognized by our AACSB peer review team as a distinctive strength for our college among business schools. But what matters most is not the number of students that we're getting. It's what those students are gaining. The ability to think critically, to communicate effectively, and to solve complex problems. Those are the skills that will define their success after graduation. We are also committed to developing academic programs that meet the region's workforce needs. In recent years, we have launched new concentrations in artificial intelligence, banking, business analytics, hospitality management, HR, and real estate. And notably, 2 years ago, we launched our new MBA program. And within its first year of existence, that program grew to have more than 200 students, clearly demonstrating the need in this community for an MBA program. So thank you to this board for voting to approve that much needed program just a few years ago. It is making a difference here. To create a world-class business program, though, we needed to recruit, retain, and develop world-class faculty. And over the past several years, we have not just grown the size of our faculty, we have strengthened the quality and the impact of their work. For example, from 2012 to 2018, only 3% of our college's research, faculty research, was published in highly ranked, prestigious academic journals. In the past 6 years, though, that number has grown from 3% to more than 52%. a truly astounding improvement on behalf of our faculty. Furthermore, the work of our faculty are getting increasingly noticed in media circles. In the last few years, business faculty have been mentioned in stories on CNBC.com, Fox Business, Fortune, Yahoo Finance, Science, The Tennessean, the National Business Journal, and even on local television news throughout the state of Tennessee. Overall, our faculty research has generated more than $11 million in ad value equivalent, a common marketing metric to measure the value of media exposure. The efforts of our faculty are truly elevating our institution's profile, enhancing our reputation, and ensuring that our students learn from recognized experts in their discipline. And as we look to the future, I want to briefly highlight one initiative that represents where we are going as a college. In the coming months, we will formally announce the formation of the Larry W. Carroll Entrepreneurship Center as part of a new multi-million-dollar investment that the College of Business is making in Clarksville, Tennessee. This center will serve as a hub for entrepreneurial activity throughout our community, hosting an entrepreneurship pitch competition for our students, providing coaching for local residents with potential business ideas, and assisting faculty members across our campus in developing new intellectual property through their research. The goal is to seed and cultivate a more robust entrepreneurial ecosystem right here in Clarksville. And as I close, I want to take just a few moments to reflect on what all of this progress represents. Today, I sit before you and can share that our College of Business is a business school that is nationally recognized for its quality, that is growing, that is improving student outcomes, and that is investing in the community we serve. And none of this would have been possible without your support. What you are seeing today is a result of intentional choices. Choices by our faculty and staff, by our university leadership, by this board. And what excites me the most is not where we are today, but where we are going. With the momentum we have built, with the strength of our team, and with new initiatives like the Larry W. Carroll Entrepreneurship Center, we are building something special here. A business school that aspires to improve the lives of its students and enhance the community it serves. I have said many times through the years that I'm an economist by training, I'm a dean by profession, but I'm a governor by choice. I was not raised in Tennessee, but this is now my home. I am here because I believe in this place, because I believe in this community, because I believe in this institution. I believe in what we are building. I believe in what we are becoming. I believe in our exceptional faculty and staff, and I believe that despite all that we have done, the best days for the College of Business are still ahead of us. For all of these reasons, I sit before you today, and I truly believe that there has never been a better time to be a business scout. Thank you.
Dr. Hebner, thank you very much. I'm sorry I missed last night's tour and presentation. Congratulations, obviously, on behalf of myself and all my colleagues on the accreditation we just achieved. I can't imagine what went into it, but I know that it was really difficult, very challenging. To be one of 6% worldwide is an amazing feat. You do a great job of accrediting everybody around you, but I know that none of this happens without your leadership, and we're truly blessed and thankful to have you as the Dean of the Business School, and thank you for your great presentation today. And I'd ask my colleagues to make any other comments or questions.
I just want to personally, truly thank you. The College of Business I shared last night, when you mentioned in your comments earlier about decades, I was remembering years ago, decades, when this process started. And it has truly been a long time coming, overdue and well-deserved. And so there's a lot that goes into this. I know because of being involved early on, not so much now as far as just different things, but it's just amazing. I mean, after I read that or listened to your report, Mr. Chairman, I was like, I need to go back and get my MBA. You know, Dr. May just said the same thing. But so thank you all, everything in the College of Business so much.
Mickey, you've inspired so many people to help. I know that you had said that they were going to get the job done and faltered, and then you made it all that. You're a selfless leader. I commend you on that. You have always talked about your team and how your team did everything, but there's no question that your drive and your leadership and your vision is what got us to the finish line this time. It's an incredible accomplishment. I was thinking about 4 years ago when we went through the College of Business and saw the white concrete walls and the bathroom with no door. And I thought to myself, wow, you know, he's got his work cut out. And we went through it last night. It is absolutely incredible. It makes the statement for Austin Peay is going to attract that we have never seen before. So congratulations. Thank you.
Great job.
Anyone else? Great, thank you, Dr. Hepburn, very much. Trustees, in accordance with Tennessee law and University Policy 1.010, Dr. Tim Winters was asked to address the board regarding the academic affairs agenda action item A, new academic unit approval, Honors College. Dr. Winters is here to visit with us. As a reminder, you have 3 minutes to share your comments, and they must be limited to the topic you've identified in your request. Dr. Winters, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity to address you all this morning. I have directed the honors program for the last 8 years and have grown it from admitting about 50 students each fall to admitting over 325 in the fall of 2025. After 29 years of service to APSU, I'm retiring this summer, 1 year earlier than anticipated. My decision hinged on an initiative on which you will vote today, the establishment of an honors college. Last July, on his first visit to the Honors Commons, the provost, who had been on campus a total of 3 days at that time, asked if I had ever considered moving from a program to a college. I had. He asked for a proposal, and I submitted one on September 4th, in which I expressed our greatest need, which is for dedicated faculty. No further communication occurred between him and me. On Friday, 6 March, the provost sent to the university community a proposal to create an honors college. In that proposal, the provost stated that I fully supported the proposal, when in fact I had not seen it. I do not support this proposal as is because it creates high-paid administrators rather than filling the need for permanent faculty. We currently staff about 30 sections of honors classes each fall by hiring faculty from various departments. That is not sustainable. Creating a dean, associate dean, and 3 directors will not serve the interests of the students. Also, the stated objectives, elevating the program, embedding high-impact practices, and expanding our reputation, have already been met over the last several years. So I asked, what is the rush? I am not against an honors college, but the proper way to approach such a change is to gather all stakeholders to study the necessity and the viability of such a proposal and to listen to them. Instead, we received a top-down proposal that fails to address the pressing need for faculty and more resources for our students. Furthermore, at every presentation of the proposal, the provost has stated that there will be no vote taken, yet the THEC policy checklist A1.3 clearly states that they expect written demonstration of approval by all necessary bodies on campus. Since none of those bodies voted, no such demonstrable evidence exists. It is my firm belief that this proposal is ill-considered and should not be approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments, Dr. Winters. Any further discussion of these comments will occur during the academic affairs report to the board prior to the board voting on the agenda item. We'll proceed now with the next agenda item. I'd like to recognize Trustee May, Chair of the Academic Affairs Committee, to give a report on their committee meetings today.
Thank you, Chairman O'Malley, for the opportunity to present my report from this morning's Academic Affairs Committee meeting. The committee met and approved minutes from the Academic Affairs Committee meeting on April 10th, 2026. We also reviewed and approved 2 action items that are on the consent agenda today. Policy 1025, Policy on Academic Tenure, and Policy 1027, General Education Requirements and Degree Requirements. The committee reviewed and approved 2 action items that are on the agenda for your approval today. The new academic unit approval for Honors College and the new academic unit approval for the Department of Aviation Science. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee May. Trustee May's report included 3 items requiring action of the board. Trustee May, do you have a motion for action on the proposal to form an honors college?
Yes, you have before you a proposal to form a new honors college, and by direction of the committee, I move to approve this proposal.
You've heard the motion to approve the proposal to form an honors college. Since this is a motion of the committee, a second is not required. Is there any discussion? Dr. Rowe.
Yeah, I'd like to have Dr. Rowe answer some of Dr. Winter's comments. It's first the board is heard, and I think that certainly the public needs to hear your side of the story.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee Rowe. So first, I did tour the facility range around here and saw great potential in what could be elevating our honors program to an honors college. We had those conversations, and I asked Professor Winters for a proposal, and he did send that proposal on October, but not September. And that proposal he submitted was okay, right? I looked at it, reviewed it. I also asked the University College Dean for a proposal. I looked at both of their proposals and did my own due diligence about what I believe Austin Peay could do at this point in time to take existing resources, reimagine elements of the Honors College, take feedback from some alumni and some other stakeholders, and think about what a structure could be to start. That's what initially created the proposal that was shared with the University Committee on March 6th. Then through our academic reorganization policy, we followed the steps required in our own policy 2.009 to go through the creation or dissolution of an academic college. So we went through that entire process. We received a lot of feedback. A lot of feedback I received as well occurred during my listening tour that included his area as well as other areas within University College after the initial proposal was presented. And I received their feedback, listened deeply, intently, used that to further strengthen the document that you have before you.
They mentioned 2 things about the greater need was more permanent faculty and more resources. How do you answer that?
Currently, the honors program has faculty fellows. It is not typical, traditional of honors colleges across the United States who hire full-time honors faculty. What is typical is the faculty are pulled from academic disciplines within the colleges to contribute to the various courses. And so to hire 8 or 9 faculty would cost nearly $1 million. It's a non-starter. It's not a typical model. And so for us to start an honors college, and we know we can leverage our existing strengths, our existing resources, the proposal you have before you today, in my judgment, and in many others as we've refined it through the process, represents that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mitch, can you comment briefly on the support for the Honors College that's kind of been garnered out there, the deans and faculty senate?
Yeah, from the perspective of the different constituent groups that I've shared with and had senior leadership, as we've discussed this at our senior leadership team, recognize that we are ready for the next step. Austin P has had an honors program for 32 years. And through the good work of Professor Winters, no question, and that's acknowledged in the proposal, we're ready for that next step. And so on the shoulders of Dr. Irwin, Dr. Winters, others, we are ready for that next step. So what we are doing is acknowledging that good work and saying we're ready for the next step. So we can be better competitive with our institutions across the region. Western Kentucky, Murray State, East Tennessee State, Middle Tennessee. We are losing students to those because we don't have the elevated stature and experience of those institutions. Our students come here and then they leave here because they're being effectively recruited, almost like the transfer portal, to go to these other honors colleges for more money. And so as I've talked with prospective donors, alumni, existing staff, student leaders, including our student body president, Tyler, it's a move we're ready for. It's a move I think we have to take. And so we've charted a course, we followed procedure, we followed policy. Here we are today.
Thank you. We certainly. Go ahead. Kathy.
I just wanted to, congratulate Dr. Winters for just speaking up and offering a different opinion. I think different opinions help everybody come to a better solution. So I know that was a big, very important move for him to do that, and so I thought that was great. And then you might have already answered this question, but I wanted to really understand just from a very high level, the benefit of going from a program to a college. What is that benefit to the school? And you might have just answered, it might be through marketing to our students.
Yes, it's beyond marketing. It's students who are higher achieving students are recognized in honors college as that distinction of academic excellence that they're ready to pursue as an undergraduate student. These are students that are looking at other universities. Austin P isn't their only choice. They fill out a common application where they're going to fill out an application to go to college and has 6 other institutions on them. And so these high achieving students are being courted by other universities and their honors programs. And so for us to remain competitive in this region and in the state in attracting and retaining the type of student that we know wants to be at Austin P, elevating to an honors college. And so it's the next step in this evolution of academic excellence for our higher achieving students.
Yes, thank you. I had an alum of this university reach out to me about this issue, this proposal, I should say, and I know there's multiple sides to every story, which is a benefit of our partnership that we have between the university, the trustees, the faculty, staff, and the student. This alum, they have children that have been in the university college and have alleged that the provost, that you have already taken steps to start to dismantle the university college and have shifted students to other areas for advisement, which, and again, there's multiple sides to every story. I'm going to share with you what I have, the trustee, have been communicating to me, that it's created a disaster situation for advising with, because of this alleged started of dismantlement already of the university college. And second, that alum also mentioned to me that it feels like this is a very hurried process, even though it might not seem hurried when you think about September, October, and now we're in June. But why is there a rush? And perhaps there needs to be more time. And I'm not saying I'm for or against this. I'm just sharing with you the feedback as a trustee that I have received from the alum of this university that reached out to me. So I'd like to get your comments on those 2 items, if you would, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. We have started the process of moving degree programs into the academic colleges. We can do that without a proposal. That's not required to do that. So why did we do that? We have 3 academic programs that are not aligned in academic colleges. We have an AAS in Culinary Arts, an AS in University Studies, and a BS in University Studies that don't report up through an academic dean. There's no faculty governance structure specific to those programs. And so better aligning those academic programs to academic homes where there's formal academic curricular structures and governance it is the best course of action for those programs. And also, it also allows those programs to feed into additional programs that reside in those colleges. That can be done without any reorganization. The comment about it's been a disaster, I would respectfully disagree, where we have had transition of students being advised by staff in University College, and then in some instances now staff in the College of Behavioral and Health Sciences. So for example, the two programs, the two associate degree programs, those students are still being advised by the same people that are in University College. The BS in University Studies program are being advised by staff and faculty within the College of Behavioral and Health Sciences. And so I would respectfully disagree with the comment. What was the second part of it?
The person feels like, the alum
rushed,
feels
yeah.
like that it's rushed and that, here we're trying to agree this now to implement it starting in August.
Yeah.
So can you comment to
So
that?
what we're asking you to approve in terms of the Honors College, we are looking to have 3 faculty directors. Director of Student Research Innovation, Director of Community Engaged Learning, and the Director of Global Education and National Fellowship. Those individuals already exist. They're already doing the jobs. That's not new. The Director of Community Engaged Learning is an individual who's already in the Honors College working as the Assistant Director. No change there. We're not changing help. We're not changing administrative staff. We're not changing any of it. So the comment about it being rushed, again, I would respectfully disagree. The structure is there. What we're doing is we're starting the process of, we'll name an interim dean, we'll name an interim associate dean or an associate dean, and then start the process for a search for a dean this fall that we would put in place for fall of 27. We went through the appropriate reorganization policy. It's not that large of a scope of a structural change. And so I would, again, respectfully disagree that this was rushed. It went through a process effectively nearly the entire year. I feel that's appropriate given the level of scope, the organizational change that will occur. And so,
Could you help me, and show my ignorance again, but could you summarize for me the basic 2 or 3 disagreements between what you're recommending and Dr. Witter's issues and where we are today? So I understand the change and understand and I know there's a myriad of items, but what are the 2 or 3 basic disagreements?
the first disagreement, I believe, is that it is felt that his proposal wasn't viewed or heard or listened to. His proposal contains the same elements virtually as the proposal you're reviewing today. What is not in there is the hiring of new faculty. What is not in there is the hiring of new director of student success. That's what he suggested. But he suggested a dean, an associate dean, director of communication, director of research, director of fellowships, director of Pell, and a director of honors. And so when I looked at that, it's pretty solid, but why would you have a director of honors, a dean of honors, an associate dean, and a director of Pell? It was administratively heavy. Great start, fine. I took another proposal, I did my own due diligence, benchmarked in other institutions, best practices in knowledge colleges, and formed the basis of that first proposal. So effectively, where we are today is not very different than what he proposed. I think perhaps what the issue was is the first proposal that was distributed through you right on March 6th didn't name specific titles of these 3 directors yet. It was still going through the review, still going through feedback, still going through the process. And so ultimately where we landed in the final proposal is substantively not much different than what he proposed. And so, and I've had meetings throughout my direct report. He's not a direct report, but I've had meetings with my direct report over that area. Throughout the year, refining and shaping what could be an honors college. How those communications have happened between my direct report and him, that's obviously a part of that. But I think we used the right process. We went through the right steps, and ultimately where we've landed today is not too different at all from what he did.
So would it be fair to say that the biggest
dedicated on.
Dedicated,
Correct, yes.
Anyone else?
I have a follow-up. please,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Thank you. If I remember correctly, forgive me if I did not remember this correctly, when Dr. Winter spoke, he mentioned that you had visited when you first came on campus, which was wonderful, that you visited, of course, and then there wasn't much communication about this new honors college until they got something from you that says, well, we're doing an honors college. It was, am I remembering that correctly? So there appears to be a perception there wasn't a lot of communication other than he submitted a proposal as far as a lot of this due diligence. And I know he doesn't directly report to you, but it does give me pause that I need to ask you to comment on that.
Yeah, I believe that's what he said. The proposal was, like I said, I got October 3rd, we reviewed it, I received the other proposal from our University College Dean, and then I worked with her throughout the months to land on where we are. So that's what we did, right? And so, you know, I don't know what kind of communication occurred between her and him. Obviously, it wasn't as where it should be, and that revealed itself later throughout the process. But the underlying essence of the proposal, what we have today, like I said, is effectively not very different than what he proposed.
Thank you.
I have one last question. Is it your opinion, by not some way reorganizing the honors program, puts the university at a competitive disadvantage in the marketplace with honors students? Is that true?
I do. I believe the time is now. We've been talking about it, right? And at some point, if there's been previous conversations, which there has been, this isn't new. It's not like it hasn't been discussed. And so I'm looking at timing, competitive advantage. We're ready to celebrate our 100th anniversary. This is great timing to leverage the strengths of leadership and past leadership to take that honors college to the next level. If I thought that it was too big of a jump, too fast, given the type of organizational change that we're looking to do, we wouldn't be here right now. But I do feel it's reasonable, it's the next step, and we're ready for that next step.
Well, thank you again. This is such important, and the fact that Dr. Winters came and spoke too. I'd like to hear a comment from President Wakari on his thoughts about this. Now, after you've heard this from Dr. Winters, and you of course have known what's been going on through this process, as well as the concerns that have been raised, because I'm sure you've received direct communication from people too. So, if you would please.
Yeah, thanks. No, you know, I agree with Provost Cordova's assessment of the need for an honors college. His proposal, I think, is in alignment with what we need at Austin Peay, but also connects very strongly to establish best practices in other honors colleges around the state and around the country. So what we are proposing here is in alignment for us, but then also it is a sensible structure that is replicated elsewhere around the country. And so I think I think change is always difficult. You know, my assessment is that the time is right, the process that was used was right, that new things on college campuses or companies or whatever it is always difficult. And that's some of what we're seeing here is a reaction to a proposal that is new and different. And I think the process that we used that Mitch used was correct, and that we wound up with a very solid proposal for an honors college at Austin Peay. I'm very excited.
I'd just like to make a statement that, you know, the real world, my organization, I tell them the way we've always done things, it's not always the way things need to be done. You've got to be wide open to changes. And if you wait too long to change, it's too late to change, it's already passed you by. think what we're looking at here is there may be some differences in opinion on how to go about that change. The only thing constant in today's world is change. And you either go with the change and you go quickly with the change, or you get left behind. And Austin P, it appears we've been kind of left behind in this. It's been too long, thank goodness, Provost Cravo, that you're here and that you recognize that we needed that change to get to the next level, because we're a next level type of university. And I think that you've gone through due diligence. And, you know, we don't need to delay this any longer. We need to get with the program.
Thank you, Don. I agree with Catherine that we want to thank, again, Dr. Winters for being here and being part of the process. And I also appreciate Dr. Cordova and my colleagues for the healthy discussion. If there's no additional discussion, I'll ask for a motion to approve the recommendation.
So moved. Second.
Is there any additional discussion? Are we doing a vote or just a group vote? Voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. The motion carries. Trustee May, you have a motion for action on a proposal to form the Department of Aviation Science.
I do. Chair, for your proposal to form a new Department of Aviation Science within the College of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. By direction of the committee, I move to approve this proposal.
Thank you. You've heard the motion to approve the proposal to form the Department of Aviation Science. Since this is a motion of the committee, a second is not required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. I'd now like to thank you, Trustee May. I'd like to recognize Trustee Rowe to give us a report of the audit committee meeting today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to present my report from today's audit committee meeting. The committee approved the minutes of April 10, 2026 audit committee meeting and audit committee executive session. The committee heard and approved one action item, a proposed internal audit plan for fiscal year 2027. The committee heard a presentation on the following information. An internal audit report released between March 31st, 2026 and May 7th, 2026, and a list of outstanding audit recommendations. That concludes my report from the audit committee.
Thank you, Trustee Rowe. I'd now like to recognize Trustee Canada, Chair of the Business and Finance Committee, to give us a report of the committee meeting today.
Thank you for the opportunity to present my report from this morning's Business and Finance Committee meeting. The committee met and approved the minutes from the April 10th, 2026 committee meeting. The committee also reviewed and approved one action item that's on the consent agenda today. It's the policy 1.021, fees, charges, refunds, and fees adjustments. The committee considered and approved 3 action items needing consideration of the board. The first is the tuition and mandatory fees for the 2026-27 academic year. The second is the estimated budget for the 2025 and 26 fiscal year, as well as the proposed budget for the 26-27 fiscal year. And third is the capital outlay and maintenance requests for the 2027-28 fiscal year. The committee heard one informational item today, which was the review of the university's awesome organizational chart. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Canada. Trustee Canada's report included 3 items requiring action of the board. You have a motion for action on the tuition and mandatory fees for the 26-27 academic year.
Yes, I do. Your meeting materials include information on the tuition and mandatory fees for the 26-27 academic year by direction of the committee. I move to approve the tuition and mandatory fees for the 26-27 academic year.
You've heard the motion to approve the tuition and mandatory fees for the 26-27 academic year. Since this is a motion of the committee, a second is not required. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just a couple of things on the tuition increase, and I know that every single person on this board, trustee, wants to keep the tuition and the fees as low as it's affordable. I'm a graduate of this school in 1967. It's very affordable college then it is now. Just let me put this in perspective a little bit. Tuition at Reagan University out the road at Vanderbilt, we plan on beating in football September 5th. Their tuition and fees for attendance, the last information was $94,000 a year. Belmont, another great university up the road, $68,000. Lipscomb, $60,000. The land grant universities are all except one higher than we are. And I mentioned this earlier in our health science, and I think this will be in the president's report, but as a physician, when you have 120 nursing students take a state exam and nobody failed, that's unbelievable. I've got to tell you, that is unbelievable. So the quality of education you're getting is really excellent, and the value, I can tell you personally that I made a lot of investments, some not so good, some pretty good, but probably the investment in this education is one of the best I've ever made in my life. And I think you can say that to students now. And I know when you're looking at it, when you're a struggling student, look, I've sold shoes on Main Street here, I've washed dishes. Everybody here has done those things to get through school. But you're investing in a future that will last you a lifetime. And I fully support this, and I think the quality is here. And I think it's not named after me, but ROE, return on investment. A lot of things like roads, nobody's named. But you are getting a quality return on investment at this university. You just heard it from the business college today, less than 6% in the world of accreditation. I could go on and on, but I think the value is there, and certainly I appreciate, Dr. LaCarra, you're trying to hold those costs down the best you can. Also, might add that 60% of our students graduate with no debt. And let me put it in perspective. The federal government took over student loans in 2010, a disaster. I voted against that when it happened. 92% of federal, $1.8 trillion in student loans across the country. That's $1,800 billion in student loans, which greatly exceeds credit card debt in this country. So I think the alumni that donate to this university, physical stewardship of the school, needs to be shared. And again, I wish we had a zero increase, but I can assure you a small increase this year and a small increase if we need to next year is better than a humongous increase in 2 years. So with that, I yield back.
Thank you, Dr. Rowe, for that perspective. It's important.
Chairman O'Malley?
Yes.
I'd like to also just thank the people that took the time to send comments. They didn't have to do that, and so it was a wide range of comments. And so I just appreciate those people that did that, because I read those, noted those, and took those into consideration. And also, like I said earlier in the committee meeting, that we are one of the universities, LGI, that had the lower increase this year, which is duly noted.
Thank you. I read those twice.
Thank you. Gary, I agree. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's important for people to be part of the process. I think all of us read those comments, and we're sobered by them, and so thank you. Any further discussion?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask Dr. Rowe, you shared something with us earlier. You know, if we have an in-state student that qualifies for the Hope Scholarship, what it would cost them a year to go to Austin?
Got all of the student tuition and fees, and if you're a freshman, it's $4,500. I think it'd be $5,600 if you're a junior and senior, and you meet those standards. Your tuition is $4,470 a year, which is unbelievable.
No further discussion. Secretary, please call the roll.
Trustee Renata?
Yes.
Trustee Trustee Gibson is absent. Trustee Jenkins?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Kimbrough?
Yes.
Trustee May?
Yes.
Trustee McInnes?
Yes.
Trustee O'Malley?
Yes.
Trustee Rainey?
Yes.
Trustee Rowe?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Trustee Canada, do you have a motion for action on the estimated budget for the 25-26 and the proposed budget for the 26-27 fiscal year?
Yes, your meeting materials include information on the estimated budget for the 25-26 fiscal year and the proposed budget for the 26-27 fiscal year. By direction of the committee, I move to approve the estimated budget for 25-26 fiscal year and the proposed budget for the 26-27 fiscal year.
Thank you. You've heard the motion to approve the estimated budget for 2025, 2026, and the proposed budget for 26-27 fiscal year. Since this is a motion of the committee, a second is not required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Trustee Canada?
Yes.
Trustee Jenkins?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Kimbrough?
Yes.
Trustee May?
Yes.
Trustee McInnes?
Yes.
Trustee O'Malley?
Yes.
Trustee Rainey?
Yes.
Trustee Rowe?
Yes.
And Trustee Canada, while you're on the roll, you have a motion for action on the capital outlay and maintenance request for the 27-28 fiscal year.
Yes, your meeting materials include information on the capital outlay maintenance requests for the 27-28 fiscal year. By direction of the committee, I move to approve the capital outlay and maintenance request for the 27-28 fiscal year.
Thank you. You've heard the motion to approve the capital outlay and maintenance request for the 27-28 fiscal year. Again, since this is a motion of the committee, a second is not required. Is there any discussion?
I think it needs to be pointed out that there's a $100 million need,
I think it was 112.
$112 million need. The state's budget is, our share of it's about $3 million, to let you know how big the hole is. And this, I'm sure, is with every school.
Thank you. Anyone else? Secretary, please call the roll.
Trustee Canada?
Yes.
Trustee Jenkins?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Kimbrough?
Yes.
Trustee May?
Yes.
Trustee McInnes?
Yes.
Trustee O'Malley?
Yes.
Trustee Rainey?
Yes.
Trustee Rowe?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, Trustee Canada. The next agenda item is the executive committee report. Before we hear the report of the executive committee, President Licari is asked to step out of the meeting. Give you a moment to do that. I'm pleased to present the report from this morning's executive committee meeting. The committee approved the minutes from the September 12th, 2025 executive committee meeting. The committee approved one action item that is on the consent agenda today, and that is policy 1-010, appeals and appearances before the board. The committee reviewed and took action on two items which are on the agenda for your approval today. The first action item is consideration of the president's performance evaluation and incentive for fiscal year 25-26. Information related to the president's performance evaluation was provided to you in advance of this meeting. During the executive committee meeting, an overview of the president's performance evaluation was presented, and a recommendation made that President Licari qualifies for an incentive for fiscal year 25-26. By direction of the executive committee, I move that the board award a 77.5% incentive in the amount of $32,163 to President Licari for fiscal year 25-26. Since this is a motion of the committee, a second is not required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next action item is consideration of the president's base compensation for fiscal year 26-27. By direction of the executive committee, I move that President Licari's base salary be set at $440,000 for fiscal year 26-27, based upon the positive performance evaluation and in order to keep the president's salary commensurate with other Tennessee LGI presidents. this is a motion of the committee, a second is not required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. And that concludes my report of the executive committee. I guess we can invite Dr. Ricard back. Back on the I'd like now to recognize Trustee McInnes, Chair of the Student Affairs Committee, to give us a report of the committee meeting today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to present my report for this morning's Student Affairs Committee meeting. The committee met and approved the minutes from the April 10th, 2026 committee meeting. There were no action items on the agenda. Dr. Clemens presented the following information item: engage annual impact report. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Trustee McInnes.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a request to name 2 spaces on campus. I invite Mr. Chris Phillips, Vice President for Alumni Engagement and Philanthropy and Executive Director of the APSU Foundation, to provide details regarding these naming requests. Chris?
Thank you, Chairperson O'Malley, and thank each of you for your support in leading us so lowly at this university. Dean Hefner mentioned earlier, there's never been a better time to be in business gov. Well, I'm old enough to tell you, it's never been a better time to be in gov, period. So just want to thank you all for what you're doing. As Chairman O'Malley mentioned, I do have a couple of namings for you today. That means about here in June, we had some donors step up, and the stewardship for that is about to happen. The naming committee recommends, first one, please. Okay. That we name the High Bay Laboratory, room 110, located inside the APSU Technology Building, after Richard E. and Bristol S. Ganaway. It will be called the Engineering, Technology, and Innovation Laboratory. In memory of Richard and Bristol Ganaway, recognizing the generosity of their son, Dr. Richard P. Ganaway. Dr. Ganaway established the Richard E. and Bristol S. Ganaway Memorial Scholarship Endowment in August of 2015, and has since made additional significant contributions to the fund. Dr. Ganaway is a Clarksville native, a board-certified ophthalmologist, and a Navy veteran who returned home in 2000 to serve his community. His father, Richard, graduated from Austin P in 1950 and retired as a professor of industrial arts here, while his mother, Bristol, attended Austin P, founded the cosmetology program at Clarksville High School, and was a founding member of the APSU Women's Club. The next naming that we're asking for your consideration is Classroom 212, located inside of the APSU Health Professions Building, to be named in memory of Judy Lynn Otter, in recognition of Judy Lynn Otter Above and Beyond Memorial Nursing Scholarship Endowment. It was established by Robert Otter in memory of his late wife. Judy graduated from Austin P in 1981, fulfilling her lifelong dream of becoming a nurse. She spent 30 years in emergency medicine at the University of Florida Health Science in Gainesville and volunteered on medical missions throughout her career, always encouraged her team to go above and beyond. Now, at this time, I'd like to transition into the 3 annual awards that you all named for philanthropy, service, and military service.
Chris, I think we need a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So thank you.
vote.
He's so excited. He's
Yeah, I know.
I was on a roll. I'm like Catherine. I'm rolling.
You like bite-sized pieces. So you heard the explanation from Mr. Phillips. We will take action on the recommendations as a group. Do I hear a motion to approve the naming requests as presented?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded that we approve the naming requests. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Phillips. We are being asked to approve several awards to individuals or organizations who have demonstrated their commitment to Austin P. Mr. Phillips will provide information on these awards. Chris?
Thank you, sir. The APSU Philanthropist of the Year recommendation is Billy Atkins. Billy has dedicated over 66 years to community banking and civic leadership in Clarksville, Montgomery County. A lifelong resident, Atkins founded Legends Bank in 1998 with $9 million in assets, and it's grown to over nearly $1 billion today. Prior to his 2019 retirement, he served as organizer, president, CEO, and chairman. He continues as senior chairman on the board of directors. His commitment to Austin Peay runs deep. Governor Bill Haslam appointed him to the university's inaugural board of trustees in 2017. He previously served as president of the Governor's Club and on the foundation board. In 2019, the Atkins family and Legends Bank stepped up and established the Billy Atkins Family Endowed Scholarship, supporting the College of Business students majoring in finance. Atkins and his late wife Sue have been strong philanthropic supporters of Austin Peay academic and athletic programs, and their legacy of generosity continues to impact the university community. Atkins' community impact extends far beyond banking. He has played an instrumental role in local economic development, helping attract major corporate investments including Hankook, Tire, Google, and LG Electronics. He served 4 6-year terms on the Industrial Development Board, chairing it 4 times, led the Clarksville Area Chamber of Commerce as president in 1994, and contributed to numerous civic organizations. The recipient for the recommendation of the APSU Board of Trustees Military Service Award is Dr. Michelle D. Smith. Dr. Smith has dedicated her career to serving those who serve. Her military journey began as an enlisted combat medic in Korea. She attended Austin Peay State University as a cross-country student athlete from 1988 to 1991, graduating in 3 years. After earning her medical degree from East Tennessee State University in 1996 on an Army scholarship, Dr. Smith completed her dermatology residency at Walter Reed Army Medical Center, where she served as the chief resident during 9/11. As a major in the United States Army Medical Corps, she served at Walter Reed and as the chief of dermatology at Fort Jackson, where she established the hospital's first dermatology clinic. She also served as an assistant professor of dermatology at the Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences in Bethesda, Maryland. Throughout her military service, Dr. Smith balanced her role as an Army physician in supporting soldiers and families as a commander's wife, leading family support groups for the 160th Aviation Regiment during deployments. After leaving active duty, she founded Dermatology of Lexington, LLC in South Carolina, where she practiced for 15 years. During this time, she employed many enlisted medics upon their separation from the military. This assisted in their transition from the military by helping build their resumes. Now practicing in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Dr. Smith serves on the Austin Peay State University Library and National Alumni Association boards, and continues extensive service to the military community as an Eagle Ambassador at Fort Campbell. She assists veterans with VA disability claims, attends military memorials, supports Gold Star families, mentors APSU pre-med students, and helps connect soldiers and families with resources that they need. The majority of her volunteer work Dr. Smith does for soldiers, veterans, and their families involves helping one soldier at a time as a quiet professional behind the scenes. And finally, it's my pleasure to present to you for the Service Award, Dr. Jeannie Beauchamp. Dr. Beauchamp has distinguished herself as a national leader in pediatric dentistry and community health advocacy. Raised in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, she carried her DDS from the University of Tennessee Health Science Center in 1991, and then completed her pediatric dentistry residency in 1993. She began working in Clarksville in 1993 and founded Clarksville Pediatric Dentistry in 1999, which she continues to own and operate. Dr. Beauchamp's professional leadership extends nationally. She has served as the president of both the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry and the Tennessee Dental Association. She has served on 4 councils for the American Dental Association. She previously led the Tennessee Academic of Pediatric Dentistry and the 8th District Dental Society. At Austin Peay, Dr. Beauchamp has demonstrated sustained leadership and philanthropic commitment. For several years, she served on the executive committee of the Foundation Board and the Candlelight Ball Committee, chairing the event in 2008 and 2009. She's a member of the Tower Club and Reagan Giving Circle, supporting the various university missions through her ongoing engagement and generosity. She received the APSU's Wendell Gilbert Award in 2019 and was inducted into the Governor's Red Coat Society in 2023, recognizing her ongoing commitment to the university and the community. Her community involvement is extensive, including CEMC, Clarksville Sunrise Rotary, Clarksville Chamber, United Way, Leadership Clarksville, Boy Scouts of America, her church, Customs House Museum Foundation, and of course the Clarksville Montgomery County Community Health Foundation, Teen Care Advisory Board, and others. It is my pleasure to present to you those 3 qualified nominees, and I look forward to the results. Thank you, sir.
Great job, Chris. 3 terrific candidates. You've heard the explanation from Mr. Phillips. We will take these up as a group. Do I hear a motion to
Say one
approve?
thing about, I want to just say one thing about Billy Atkins, who I've known for over 60 decades. He and my mother began working at Northern Bank, which is just above F&M Bank Arena. So I knew him, he was just starting in the banking business. And you won't meet a nicer person than Billy Atkins, a more respectful person, faithful Christian, a good family man, tremendous supporter of this university, and my friend. And I really can't think of anyone better than Billy Atkins as this nominee. And I'm happy to say those things about my friend.
Thank you, Dr.
Chairman O'Malley, I'd just like to add, if it would be possible, could you please, Vice President Phillips, let us know when you plan to present these awards to these different individuals? Because due to schedules, some of the trustees, if schedules permit, may want to either attend, be with you, however that's done, or even at least reach out at some time when that's done.
Sure. Our goal every year is to work with the individual, and we will present that to the award at an event we already have scheduled based on their time. So if I can get with Dr. Clark, and be sure that gets out to each of you so you know when that's going to happen.
And I'd also like to mention too that Dr. Beauchamp, I work with a lot of physicians in Nashville at MSA, and she is highly regarded with her peers in oral medicine. So I'm very excited to see too that she's one of these honorees this year. And then also to have Dr. Smith, who was a woman, I mean, to be in her role during 9/11, chief resident, I mean, Dr. Rowe, you can imagine what that was like.
If dermatology is easy though, if it's wet, if it's wet, you dry it, you dry, you wet it. I mean, that's.
Speaking as an OBGYN.
And that's into a big bill.
So, do I hear a motion to approve the following awards? Billy Atkins as the Philanthropist of the Year recipient, Dr. Michelle Smith as the Govs Who Lead Through Military Service recipient, and Dr. Jeannie Beauchamp as the Govs Who Lead Through Service recipient.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve these award recipients. Is there any additional discussion? Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Phillips, for your great presentation. At this time, I'd like to recognize President Zakari to give us his report and to also report on any interim items.
Thank you, Chairman O'Malley. Thank you all. First, I wanted to say that although he was not able to be here today, I want to welcome Ben Martin as our new student trustee. He's not here today because he's traveling to scope out graduate school opportunities, so can hardly begrudge that. And I know that he's going to be a great addition to the board. I also want to thank two board members for whom this is their last official meeting pending the appointment of new members. Robin Mueller and Don Jenkins. Both are inaugural members of the board, having served since its inception in 2017. Unfortunately, Robin wasn't able to be here either, but her impressive Army career and her long connection to Austin Peay has meant that she's provided the university and me tremendous guidance. She served as the professor of military science for our ROTC program from 1996 to 2000. During that time, we won one of our MacArthur Awards, which means that during her time leading that program, we were recognized as one of the very best in the entire nation. She also earned a master's degree from us during that time, and so thank you to her for her commitment to making Austin Peay better, and I think we can give her a round of applause. I think she's stuck in the Pentagon with training for the United States Army, so at her level you wouldn't think she would need any more of it, but there it is. Don, your encouragement, your support, advice, and expectations have made me a better president and a better member of the Clarksville-Montgomery County community as well. Your support for this university is nothing short of amazing. You're not even alone. And so
I said to go to work.
Yes. And so I am proud to be a part of your commitment to our students. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you for your support. I also want to thank Carrie McInnes. She comes to the end of her first term on the board. As an alum who was highly involved in student life, including a member of the health program, your perspective on this board is very valuable. And so thank you, and I expect and look forward to your reappointment. Thank you to the whole board for the careful consideration of our tuition rate for the upcoming year. You know, nobody likes cost increases, but our own operational costs increase with inflation. We also need to preserve and improve quality, as well as make prudent investments when we have the opportunities. This is balanced, of course, with understanding the need to not price out our students. This is why I'm proud of the low tuition increase that you just approved at 3.23%. It is the lowest in the state amongst all other LGIs, this rate increase. And it preserves our place as what I will say is the most affordable university in the state. So thank you for that. Thank you too for the thoughtful engagement and for approving the establishment of the Honors College. This is an exciting development that will continue the momentum that was established by all of those who have gotten us to this point. And so the future for our top students here is bright. Thank you too, of course, for the support. I truly appreciate it. I'm somewhat embarrassed by it. And I do look forward to donating my raise back to the university as I have always done. So thank you for that support. We, the university, certainly not me, our faculty and staff and students set a lot of important records and benchmarks in the 2025-26 academic year. And I'll take a moment just to celebrate some of those big accomplishments. Record enrollment, of course. We have Amy Corlew, giveaway of Amy. Which included the fastest growing freshman class in the state last fall, up almost 11%. And that resulted in being the fastest growing LGI in the state, up more than 7%. The next closest was ETSU at a distance. Of our record enrollment, fully one third of that is military affiliated. And that is a testament to our commitment to serving Fort Campbell and beyond. Certainly our military affiliated students need and deserve that support. I have Walt Lord sitting in the back, give away for Walt. Thank you for all of your work to make sure that all of these thousands of military affiliated students we have here get the support that they need and deserve. Ken Webb raised a record $423,000+, destroying last year's record of $266,000. In fact, the last 4 events, each one of them has been a record. So no pressure, Chris. You know I'm going to keep moving the goalposts for you. He also has a new board, a new foundation board that was just reestablished and reinvented. So really, no pressure at all. Now, I know that you are more than capable of keeping us going in the right direction. Our ROTC program competed again at the Sandhurst Military Skills Competition at West Point. Only 16 of the 274 programs in the country get to compete, and we do regularly. And so that means we have the best ROTC program in the state and actually in the entire Southeast region. That ROTC program also commissioned its largest class of second lieutenants a few weeks ago at 42. The Army expects 25, so we're well above that. And one of those cadets was the 1,000th cadet that we commissioned. So very, very proud of that program. We cut ribbon on the Health Professions Building, of course, opening that tremendous facility that will ensure that we're able to meet the demands for a healthcare workforce and be able to educate our students in the way that the faculty know that they need to educate our students, and that is as teams of coordinated health professionals. So very proud of that. We're in the early stages of renovating the Truck Center into the Jack and Margie Turner Event Center, and renovating the garage space next to the bookstore into the Neon Impact Center, which will house our expanded food pantry and community engagement center. The men's basketball regular season champions for the first time since 2008, so it's always nice to hang another banner and have some fun doing it. On the academic front, we were able to sign a couple of really cool articulation agreements. One we just signed with TCAT Dixon for a seamless LPN to BSN pathway. The folks at TCAT Dixon are very smart and enthusiastic of partnering up with the best nursing program in the state. And so we're very, very happy to do these kind of innovative things that allow us to grow the workforce, save students time and money, and partner with great educational institutions around the state. We established a connection to Oak Ridge National Lab with our Institute for National Security and Military Studies. That will strengthen our national security workforce, and so I'm very, very excited to grow that partnership as well. And then, of course, as we heard earlier, the College of Business earning AACSB accreditation is a huge milestone for the college and for the university. Looking forward, as much as it is nice to reflect on past success, we do need to make sure that we're always looking forward. You know, the landscape for higher education is unsettled nationally, but I'm encouraged for the future of Austin Peay. We've done a good job of tackling the issue of ROI, with 60% of our recent graduates graduating with no student loan debt at all. We will remain nimble, innovative, and aggressive in meeting the needs and expectations of our current and prospective students and their families. We have to. We also need to be nimble, innovative, and aggressive in meeting expectations for workforce and economic development. As we begin to work on our next strategic framework for the university, student success after graduation will need to be a core priority for the university. This will require expanded partnerships with business and industry, as well as revised curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular experiences for our students that build professional skills. So I am excited for the upcoming academic year. In a recent lunch with a donor, he said he was ready to go to graduate school, and he was ready to start his career, and he was ready to launch his own business, all because of the education that he got at Austin Peay. Our current student body is full of those stories, waiting to be written, and it is a great time to be a go. Finally, your packet includes contracts and agreements that have been executed, state building commissions, actions that have occurred since the last board meeting. Thank you, and that concludes my.
Thank you very much, Councilor McCarty, for another great report. A lot of good news around Austin Peay and our successes, the future that we have in front of us. It's a bright future for sure. Again, I'd like to echo Dr. Licari's comments about Don and Robin's the board. You guys are really going to be missed. You completed your second terms of your inaugural board membership. And Don, I know that you wanted to say a couple of words, but thank you. You've been a great colleague, a great friend. So is Robin, and you'll be missed on this board.
I'd just like to say what an honor and privilege it is to be on the Austin Peay board. 7.5 years ago, Bill Haslam called me and he said, do you have any recommendations for this Austin Peay board? And I said, I spent 10 minutes talking to him about Michael O'Malley. And after 10 minutes, he said, by the way, I was interviewing you. But he said, I will talk to Mike. So Mike also joined us on the inaugural board. But the incredible transformation of Austin Peay during this last 7.5 years has just been incredible. You know, you look at physically, people that hadn't been here for 5 years don't recognize the campus. It's amazing. We've got the Health Professions Building, we've got the Newton Military Center, got this beautiful O'Malley Center. We don't play in the Little Red Barn, we're not playing in the Dunn Center anymore, we're over at F&M Arena. And, you just look at, the change has been constant. And, I think back to all the different, I've been on the last 3 President's Circle of Advisors, the different things that we talked about during those periods of time, and just to see the absolute energy in Austin right now, and all the positive things that go on. And, it wasn't that far long ago that we were playing, I call it non-competition football, but it was non-scholarship football. And you look how far our athletics have gone. And, athletics are the front porch of any university. You attract people through athletics, you get supporters, and we've had great athletic programs now, and I'll compliment Chris Phillips. We've got, he's got 2 different hands now. We have to raise money for the college, for the university, but we got to raise NIL money, and they can't cross over. And we've been very successful in that. And while we're talking about athletics, we've got Jordan Harmon, our own. You look at Jordan. Austin Peay has raised their own AD. How many colleges would that ever happen in? It's just the atmosphere here. You look at our AACSB accreditation of business college. My gosh, we've been chasing that for 30 years, and we finally got to the finish line. There's never been a better time to wake up. The only thing I can say is, let's go Peay.
Thank you very much. As a reminder, our next regularly scheduled meeting will take place on September 11, 2026. And with that, I move the meeting adjourned.